Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're going to be talking about the one, the only beloved Turbo. Okay, Turbo, our beloved crypto, our beloved meme coin. I know people are, getting into their minds a little bit. They're getting a little bit 50-50, where Turbo is going to head, where Turbo is going to be over even the next couple weeks, the next year, 5 years from now. Everyone has a different mindset and a different vision, but generally speaking, a lot of people want to know the more short term, and also if I still believe Turbo will be hitting some awesome milestones. And for me, that is the thing. I do believe Turbo will be hitting amazing milestones this cycle. I know 2025 has been a bearish year, right? It has been a bearish year. It has been also a correction year, but luckily for us, down, up is expected to be next, especially with the way Bitcoin dominance is moving as well. I expect Bitcoin dominance to be selling off next year, which pretty much means altcoin season. Listen, boom, we're stepping onto the pitch, right? At Dev Connect Argentina. Turbo's bringing the energy to Bitso on chain, so we can see almost 5,500 holders, or not holders, followers. Copa de los Memes tournament, football memes trading. Let's go! So very nice, a classic Turbo win, which is what we love to see. Even in slow times, Turbo is still accomplishing a lot. And that is what Turbo can really just do right now, right? It's the little things, the medium things, the big things. But as long as they keep going forward, as long as the community is here, as long as they consistently post, and as long as they continue to do things like this, then everything is going to look really solid, right? We can see a lot of people in the comments are very happy. And look, just hold it. Literally, yep, just hold it. So that is that when it comes to news. When we go and look at something else, we can see that, like I said, Turbo on the year is down, but doesn't mean that next year won't be a great, year in terms of pumps. We could also see when we go to something like the weekly, it is looking kind of very similar to what we had over here, right? Boom, right over here back in February, right? Personally, I do not like cryptos that have this type of trend. For me, it is inevitable that it is practically going to be breaking to the downside. I do not like it, like ever. So I do think, Turbo will be going lower and lower because nothing has really shown any signs of us reversing. And that is just the truth. We have been getting consistent lower and lower highs for some time, especially if we count the last month or so. We have a high here, lower high, lower high, lower high, multiple days of buying pressure, but guess what? Still a lower high. And we can see we're selling off. So even if we come back here, we might see a little bit of a pull up, but then ultimately I expect Turbo to be coming back down to lower prices. In general, I expect the altcoins to be getting shaken out one more time. Generally speaking, right? Generally speaking, I expect altcoins to be getting shaken out one more time. And it's not a Turbo thing. It is more of a Bitcoin thing. It is more of a Bitcoin dominance type thing. Uh, you know, Bitcoin has to fill up certain gaps, which are very annoying. We have this gap at 92K, not the most ideal, right? Not the most ideal. But we can see last time when we had a gap, we filled it up. We did go a little bit lower as a fake out, but then the start of something beautiful happened, right? We went from pretty much 75K upwards of 127. So I do believe something similar is going to happen where Bitcoin is going to be looking to be going down another 10 to 12 to 13%, coming back down here, retesting here, and then having one more pull up. Okay. Having one more pull up. We see when we go to something like Bitcoin, Bitcoin could potentially be creating the Doji reverse chart, the reverse candle. My apologies. And if it does that, then it's going to indicate that next year overall should be a sell-off, right? We could see short-term buys, but then a nice big sell-off. And that's going to be good for us because that means it's our time to be shining for something like Turbo and meme coins and just altcoins in general, right? Bitcoin dominance here went up 3 years, then it slammed down once, really heavily. Here we've been going for 4 years, which is why a lot of people probably expected 2025 to be the year, but things got delayed by one more year. But ultimately, the picture has always been the same. I always said we are on track for altcoin season. right? And it's the truth. It is the truth. I couldn't give you the exact date. I gave you predictions, but I couldn't tell you exactly 100% date. I just said I'll know when the charts indicate it. And look, man, Bitcoin dominance is holding very, very weak. And I overall expect 2025, or sorry, 2026 for Bitcoin dominance to be slamming lower, which ultimately means I expect things like Turbo to be reversing. So if you are looking to be dollar cost averaging Turbo or buying Turbo, generally speaking, even now and over the next couple of weeks, there's going to be the best of the best opportunities. Okay. And that is just the truth. If we go and look at the highs and we take it to these lows over here for Turbo, right back in 2024, objectively speaking, you would be buying at a discount zone of 88% retracement. So that'd be looking very, very nice. That's a very, very nice key zone to be dollar cost averaging, to be taking those risks. Of course, at the end of the day, you have to be making your own decisions, but just objectively speaking, right, you would always want to buy at discount and not when things are pumping. Like you never want to buy things when they're pumping, okay, generally speaking. So yeah, I still am having super, super high hopes for something like Turbo. I do believe, just in terms of even a pure Fibonacci standpoint, if we go and reverse things, I do believe we should be hitting at least the 2.2 to the 4.2 zone. Now, yes, of course, that's a big range. That is a 3 to 6 cent range, but that is like my bare minimum just based off the Fibonacci. And if you were to hypothetically get it now, that would be roughly, 15, 16x from here, upwards of 32x. And that's just based off the Fib tool. That's based off the Fib tool, right? But if we get something like Doge, how kind of way Doge pumped, Shiba pumped, and Turbo pumps like similar, doesn't need to have the same ratios, then we could be seeing upwards of 10 cents, 15 cents, 20 cents. My price prediction, I believe, was like 18 or 17 cents previously. If we go to something like Turbo, we can see that, the market cap to hit 100x, right? That would bring us, we're pretty much at 0.02. That would bring us to 20 cents, 13 billion market cap, right? 100x, 13 billion market cap, 20 cents. That's why, that 15 to 20 cent zone for me is the prime. I know some people want it to go higher, but of course, we can always readjust our price targets once we start pumping to see if there's any reason to be slowing down, any reason to be cashing out, or what is going to be ultimately happening. But yeah, we can see in terms of the basic stuff, when we go to something like the monthly, we are down roughly 30%. In the last week, we're up 11.5%. And in the last day, we are down almost 8%. So look, it's not really a turbo thing. It is a crypto thing. It is a altcoin thing. At the end of the day, I still believe Turbo is one of the better meme coins to be accumulating. And we can see the holders are slowly going down. And I know people that look at, or have a lot of confirmation bias, they might be freaking out over this. But at the end of the day, even going down, we're at 64 and now we're at 16, going down 40 or so holders in a span of 2 weeks is really nothing crazy. Like it's really, really not. So that is ultimately it, though, ladies and gentlemen. I love you guys so, so much. And remember, crypto is about the momentum, bandwagon, and everything. And I expect 2026 to be an absolute banger. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.